Look at her. Her little breath on the window. You've got a cat flap, Lumi. You have got a cat flap. Lady, come. I know, welcome home. Welcome home. Where have you been? How were your travels? What did you get up to? Good morning, everyone. My goodness me, spring has sprung in England and we are actually looking, I think, at about 10 days worth of really good weather, which in March, early April is not usually the done thing. I have a weekend at home and in all honesty, all I want to do is potter at home, and I feel so lucky that I get to do this. It's Saturday. Yesterday I was at the stables with Atlas. Today, Saturday and Sunday, I am at home. Ali is playing golf this morning. I have to write a to-do list because there is so much to do in the kitchen garden. I have potting on to do. I reckon I can get some things out in the beds. I need to sow more seeds. I need to sow more in seed beds as well. I need to go through my seeds and see what I've got. There's a lot of seeds going on. I need to plan something that I'm going to tell you about in this video. I need to do the chickens. These are all very lucky things to do. I'm going to do another sourdough. So last week was the first time I did 2 loaves at once, and that was really good. So what we did is we've chopped 1 loaf up and frozen it, because sourdough, when it's frozen, is actually apparently better for your gut. I didn't know this. I saw that on Emily English's Instagram, but also really great for having sourdough in stock. So I might try and do that more often now, just do 2 loaves, because what you can do is you can prepare both loaves to the same point, and then one you bake when it's ready and the other one you can leave in the fridge for up to 24 hours later. So it's really good in that respect. So yes, a weekend of baking, English springtime, and pottering at home, and I feel like that is a joy, in all honesty. I think tomorrow I'm going to go to the garden centre because my pots and my muscari have gone over now and I'm ready to do a little bit of a refresh. And I have to say, my tablescape this year is probably my favourite that we've done, and I don't know whether it's just me thinking about it differently, I don't know, but I love the setup, and so all I ever need to do is to just switch out and create a new feel. So I can change the tablecloth, I can move the pots out and swap different flowers out, so we can go to the garden centre and do a little bit of a shopping spree. I've got my Kindle Scribe because this is my favourite thing for taking notes with at the moment. It is honestly genius. It is one of those things that has simplified my life so much. So I'm going to pop all of my notes that I need to do. I think some of my notes are probably going to come to fruition throughout the day. I can rub out what I was doing here. This is my favorite one to use, this little plain lined paper one, because when you have some thoughts and you just need to scribble down what you want to do, this is the one. So I literally pop at the top, weekend notes. What's the date today? Is it there? What is the date today? Goodness me, it's the 29th of March. Oh, 29th of March. First up, sourdough starter. That needs a feed. Second up, chickens. Get those out. Seed sorting. Greenhouse jobs. Can I add drink wine to the list? Also, no makeup is happening this weekend, by the way. Do you know what? I feel like this is now a prerequisite. I am never gardening with makeup ever again. That is like, unless I obviously have to in between jobs, but like as a rule, if I know I'm going to be gardening, no makeup happens that day, because it is just glorious to have the sun on my skin. Oh, I feel in such a good mood. I feel so excited. I bet it's freezing out there. Okay, I'm going to start off with that as my list because I think my greenhouse jobs are going to come into subsectors. So let's get cracking on the day. I thought I'd show you my outfit as well. At the moment I am barefoot, by the way. So, outfit of the day. I'm wearing a Beaufort and Blake shirt. These are H&M jeans. These are my chocolate brown ones. Very, very simple. I'm barefoot. but I'll just probably slip on some Birkenstock clogs, which I think I got my Birkenstock clogs from Amazon. If I did, I'll link them down below. And before we get into anything, I've actually got some parcels to unbox with these. Some I've already unboxed, but in all honesty, this one I thought we could open together because this is an Amazon handbag unboxing. And I didn't realise after my last video, many people mentioned, was it my last video? Yes, after my last video, someone mentioned that this is actually a dupe. Now, I'm not in the business of dupes. I'm not in the business of duping bags. That's just not my vibe. So I thought I would give you an impression of this, but oh, it smells. That's definitely not leather. I mean, I really like the size of it. And when I went and Googled this bag, it's very hard to tell what size the bag actually is. There's like so many different iterations, but this is the bag. It's actually quite nice. I think the gold is a bit of a, no, the gold is a nice tone that you can see, but it's not sitting straight. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. You can see it's like on a slant. But yeah, that is definitely not leather. So that's good to know. But a cute pochette. Very, very cute. But yes, not really in the business of dupes. What, my love? What? This is demanding. So I've actually ordered some wicker baskets. That's one thing I always order from Amazon, and I will give you a report. I'll link the ones and pop pictures because I think they look amazing. Quite expensive, but I want like a mini French basket bag for summer. I love the big ones, but big ones are just too big for me to be lugging around. I want a mini, little handheld one, and I have been searching for the right size for such a long time, and I think I might have found them. So I will report back on that. One of the other things I ordered from Amazon was these socks. So these are reusable. These are cotton socks. And if you don't know, both Ali and I love a little cotton glove moment, which we get from Amazon as well. If you pop anything like oils, foot creams, Elizabeth Arden 8 Hour, pop these on your feet and go to sleep. You'll wake up in the morning with new feet. They have like moisturizing properties to them, these socks, and they lock in and just let your feet like marinate, and the gloves as well. When I do a lot of gardening, that's what I do, and it's how I keep my hands soft, because I don't want to have gardener's gloves. It's just not something that I'm very interested in. Obviously been outside and it is a lot colder than I predicted, but it is only 10 in the morning, so it still needs to warm up a bit. But I'm going to do my sourdough starter now so that I can start the process. There are some things that I will link down below that has just, you know, when you're like, right, I want to make this easier for myself. First of all, buying myself a lidded, like, this is an OXO jug, but you can get like Pyrex, whichever, a lidded jug like this to always have boiled water ready to go for the sourdough starter, because you have to use it to feed it, and that's the one thing I always forget. But having the lid means that things don't get into it and it's kept nice. I refresh this like once a week kind of thing, but just to have it so that I can always put water in is great. And then my actual sourdough weck jar, I'll also link down below. It's available on Amazon. This is just great for keeping your sourdough starter in. I actually think I could have probably gone for a smaller one, but the glass lid means that the sourdough can breathe, and that's amazing. Also, I get so many questions. I know lots of you watch this, but on Instagram, I get so many questions about sourdough, and people are like, what's the recipe? And I'm like, well, it's a starter, which is flour and water, and then you just need more flour and water and a bit of salt. It's not so much the ingredients and the recipe, it's more like the process of sourdough. But anyway, I'm gonna feed this feed it up so that I can do 2 loaves, and hopefully, for once in my life, we'll do it together in an entire video, but I will link these both down below. The other thing are these cover mates. Now, obviously you can use a shower cap or you can use cling film. These are reusable, and I do generally reuse them. Sometimes I'll give them a bit of a wipe down because generally the sourdough just flakes off. So if you give them a good shake, they're fine again. In all honesty, feeding my sourdough. You can get the exact bread flour that I use. This is the Fine Lady Strong White Bread Flour from Haygates, local business. But you can buy this in a bulk of 6, and that's what I did. And then I've got my jug and my water and my starter, and we're good to go. When I was doing the chickens, by the way, I had a look around, and some of our flowers are starting to come up. So I thought I'd give you a bit of a look at the garden, and also the apple tree is starting to get buds. Our crab apples are about to have their season. They have this incredible moment where it almost makes our terrace look like a wedding venue because it just goes white and fluffy with blossoms. Oh, it's just such an exciting time of year. Scales. So I am going to do 60 grams of flour. 60 grams of flour. 60 grams of water. Take my little spoon, always a ceramic or wooden spoon, and I give it the best mix of its life. So give it, oh, the smell of this. It smells like beer, which obviously makes sense because this is like yeast and live goodness, but it just smells exquisite and it tastes even better. Let's get a wooden spoon. Give it a good scrape off. Can't even see what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, it's already started bubbling. Right, now I am just giving my little potted plants over the hearth a water, and this is a precision operation because I need my little water tester. Now I have just given this a drink. This is the ivy because ivy seems to really enjoy it up there. And then this is my mint. Now I've just cut my mint back. This has just been watered as well, but it has drank it all up because mint is very thirsty. And what I'm actually doing at the moment is I am about to wash out one of these. I've got loads of these, but somehow they have been stolen by people in the house and used for cleaning products. I always need 2 of these in the house and 1 in the greenhouse for the summer months in order to spritz my plants with washing up liquid and water, because mint indoors always gets these little like white bugs on them, and you need to spritz them with washing up liquid to get rid of them. So that is what I'm going to do. This is going to get rinsed out and cleaned. Another little ivy pot. Now I think there are a few different types of these moisture meters. My friend had one and it was very, very confusing. This is literally just stick it in and it tells you if it's dry or wet. This is definitely on the dry side. Give it a clean and water. But the ivy is loving it above there. I think it's because it's so warm. It is thriving. Pop this one back up there, a little bit of water over. These pots are so cute, my little lemon balm. How are you doing, lemon balm? Are you doing good? You're dry. You're dry as a bone. Let's get you some, oh. How is the parsley doing? It is quite wet. Ooh, the parsley is wet. You don't need anything, my love. You are thriving. We'll give you a little turn though. And you feel dry. I also just pick off any of the leaves that maybe aren't thriving so much anymore, just so you're not getting an abundance of death in the pot. Oh goodness me, this is going to overflow. No, my goodness me. There, that was a schoolboy error, Lydia. And the last but not least, the rosemary, which I always call thyme. I'll be like, my rosemary, and then I'll call it thyme. And I'm like, how did you get that wrong when you got it right. Seems to be really enjoying itself up there. It's nice and green. How damp are we? Oh, we're very damp. So you don't need anything. I'm gonna leave you alone. But let me know in a couple of days, okay? Oh dear. Perfect. My little toolkit going to good use. Sourdough starter done, chickens done, water plants done. I've also done a little bit of watering on the terrace as well. I'm gonna do a bit of seed sorting quickly as well. Do not laugh at this. But these are my crown prince that I harvested from my own crown prince that I got last year. I need to sort this out. This is not a good, it's not a good look. So Brussels sprouts can be sown now. I'm gonna sow some mint. I need to do some more carrots into the beds. More beans, more lettuce. I need to do some more radishes. Sow those. How many crown prince seeds I've got left over. I'm gonna have to start gifting some of these, I think. Get me in that greenhouse. I'm just filling up the water on here. I filled it up probably 2 seconds ago and it was empty of the Millen Gordon bees, and now they are very much enjoying it. This is also a little something I got from Amazon recently. This is what has been stopping any mice from getting into my greenhouse, and it's worked a treat so far. Very, very happy about this. Just move it out of the way. It's just a little draft excluder, but it works really well. So my first job out here is to pot on my tomatoes. I think that a number of these are ready. This one definitely, these few definitely, and these can definitely go on into their slightly bigger training pots. I'm also going to separate up some of these lettuce leaves just into separate pots, because I've got so many little seedlings growing in one place that I'll actually get a lot more crop if I start separating these up. These were the ones that I salvaged from the mouse. I'm very happy about that. So that is where I'm going to start. I've got some potting on soil, and I always save these little pots from any plants that I buy, because they're just perfect. As much as I would love to have rustic pots that are good for all of my seedlings, I would never have enough, and they break so easily. So saving these is a great way to reuse them and great for potting on. And this little table here is going to be my potting on station. As I look out over the farmland and the woodland, it is just such a perfect spot for it. And I have a good view into my greenhouse too. Is all of my tomatoes potted on. I've got Sun Gold and Marinara in here. Marinara at the front, Sun Gold at the back. I've got 12 of each, and they are looking very, very good, but I couldn't throw the other baby seedlings away of the Marinara, so I've popped some more seedlings into these nodules for now. I also then just had loads left over, so I just popped them in here and in here. Don't ask me why I'm doing that, but I feel like last year I was so sort of gung-ho with, right, I've planted 12, that's enough. And then when I lost seedlings, I was devastated. So I want to have reserves and backups and all of that kind of thing. So this is looking good. I'm going to pot on my broad beans now. I would normally want to get these out fairly soon, but in all honesty, I'm going to give them a fighting chance and just give them some bigger pots because it's still a little bit chilly. This is one of my broad bean plants. Look at the blooming root system on that. Beans are all potted up as well, so I've got 10 broad beans. So I could do another sow if I wanted to have like a succession, because these have been doing the most for quite a while. I'm just going to label them and then I'm going to go in and check on my starter in the kitchen. And when I have a whole tray that is just one thing, I use one of these, which is a slightly larger label, but it means I don't have to label all of them. Broad bean. And voila, looking good. That is bubbling away nicely. So let's make some dough. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're using like ceramic or wooden spoons when you're dealing with sourdough, because it's obviously like a live yeast. And you also want to make sure that you're not using like metal bowls either. So I will grab my sourdough bowls, and I use my Thermomix for weighing just because it's so much easier. I just use the scales function, and what I will do is grab a little ceramic spoon which I picked up from a local cookery shop, and I'm going to pop 50 grams into the bowl. Ooh, take the lid off, Lydia. It takes a bit of time because it is so like stringy halfway. Oh, I just love doing this. It is so therapeutic, and I love that it takes me literally no time at all. That one is done. Just pop the spoon in there quickly. And grab a jug, some water, and now we are doing 350 grams of water. My little wooden spoon. And you just mix that. I just make sure that it is all combined into the water so you get almost like a milk. 8 grams of salt. And 500 grams of your strong white bread flour. And we mix it all up to create the dough. And we cover that loaf with the Covermate from Amazon. Leave it to sit, and we do the whole process again. Well, there you have it, 2 sourdough doughs made. These will now prove on the side overnight. In the morning, they will go into the proving basket, or one of them will, and then that will be baked. The other one will be left in the fridge. Oh, I'm trying to remember this so that I can do it off by heart. I can't remember, but either way, we have dough for the next 2 days, which is brilliant. How have I just lost like over an hour of potting? It's absolute carnage everywhere. Whenever I get going in here, it is honestly like I just go into almost like a meditative state. And I've ended up potting on my courgette gold rush, courgette all green, and also pumpkin polar bear. Probably a little bit early. They've got leaves coming through, but just because I know that they'll need potting on when maybe I'm a little bit busy. So I'd rather get it done now, keep them watered, and have that job ticked off my list. Broad beans, I've also just potted on 2 of my cup and saucer plants. Tomatoes are here, I've trimmed back some herbs, and I've got rid of any of the flowers that have now gone over. I am not finished out here, but I have to go and do some stretch and folds. I completely forgot about the stretch and folds. 3 stretch and folds later. They are ready to be left overnight. I have an abundance of herbs, thyme and rosemary, to sort through and dry because I gave them a bit of a spring prune back. I completely lost myself, okay? I just went into meditation state. That is the hardest thing when I'm gardening, I swear to you, is the fact that I just kind of go into a trance at some point and then I just stop vlogging and it's really bad. I'm going to show you what I did in the morning, but it's been a long old day. I have spent from about 10 o'clock this morning until 5 o'clock this evening in the garden. And the only reason I stopped was that it got cold. But I did, like I said, give my herb trugs that are by the greenhouse, I gave my thyme a bit of a prune and also the rosemary. So I'm going to dry these out and use them. I need to cut back some of my chives as well. So tomorrow is going to be a chive preserving day. So that's going to be what I'm researching. And now I genuinely think I'm going to sit down and finish the Megan series because I only watched 2 episodes and then I told you guys about it. So I've poured myself a glass of wine. Ali is on his way back from golf. I'm sorting through my herbs to dry them out. Also did rosemary, see? A little bit of rosemary. And I will probably see you in the morning if I don't have anything to tell you about. Well, Mr. Millen-Corden has lit the fire and we have cups of tea. Ooh, a Mummy's Day card. Oh, do you think it's for you?
I don't want to put this down because obviously the dogs would have ate it.
And croissant.
Oh, croissant.
Wow. Thanks, babe. This is lovely. Good morning. It is Mummy's Day, so we've had a lay-in at the house and I have got some very bubbly dough. So I'm going to get one of these into the pruning dish and I need to do 1 stretch and fold, wash my hands, and then hopefully I'll be able to bake around midday. So I'm going to sprinkle with some rice flour because that always gets the really lovely top to it. Wash my hands. Well, wet my hands, I've already washed them. Take off. Oh, this is so good. And you do 1 more stretch and fold just to gather up all the dough. Gosh, this dough feels very jibbly. And in the fridge it goes for 4 to 5 hours. Good morning everyone. It is definitely another no makeup day here in England and I am certainly not up and dressed. I'm in my dressing gown still. Lazy Mother's Day I think, and my card from Ali literally made me howl with the amount of names that he had to put the card was from. Atlas, Porter, Barclay, Lumi, and then by the time he got to the bees and the chickens, he was like, the bees and the chickens, because he's not naming all of them. I think enough's enough. Bread is in, well, the dough is in the fridge, the first dough, halting the proving process. I've actually been doing a bit of shopping this morning. It's actually later on in the day than I would like, but I've been preparing because today I've woken up and I felt so incredibly like, what's the word? Not, maybe galvanized? Like, I feel like I'm not galvanized, that's what happens to steel, isn't it? But like, I feel energized and I feel like ready to do a bit of organizing for spring, for like my wardrobe, for the kitchen, all of that kind of stuff. So I've been ordering bits that I've been meaning to order, stock up on. I've bought myself sourdough bits and pieces. So I really ticked a lot of things off my list so that I can start ticking more things off my list. But I have some bits that I ordered that I wanted to show you because the weather is so incredibly beautiful. And this just arrived and I'm hoping that this is going to be as beautiful as I thought it would be. This is from the brand that I buy all my linen on Amazon from, but this is like a little shift dress that I thought, like it's the oatmeal shade as well, which is my favorite. But I thought once this is steamed with a little belt and a linen shirt over the top and tan accessories, obviously sunglasses, a little hat, I think this would be really cute. So I'm going to steam that and try it on. I've also got some other bits as well. This linen skirt, you know, is going to be worn so much over spring, summer. Imagine this with a white shirt. Imagine it with just a lovely little like cami top or vest. Obviously drawstring waist, so it's really easy to sort of cinch in at your waist or your hips, whatever you want, but it's the colour for me that I absolutely love. This is just such gorgeous linen pieces. And again, this is the same as my pinafore. It's got pockets as well, so very useful for the garden. But I thought this would be super cute, styled up as well. This is one that I'm very excited about. This shirt dress looks like it's going to be really lovely. Again, it can be belted and it's just got beautiful pearl buttons, classic white, very easy to wear, little slit on the side as well, very classic, jumper over the shoulders, that kind of thing. Beautiful, beautiful linen, oh my goodness. And then this one was a little bit, I don't know whether this is a bit wild for me. I've actually got two more dresses as well. This one is like a little wrap dress, but what I loved was this delicate, really delicate floral. It's like green and blue, and it's a wrap dress. So I thought, again, for the garden, cami straps that are adjustable. It's more like a cheesecloth, this one. I don't think this is actually linen. But yeah, I thought that was really cute. Just, again, with pockets. And it's the fabric for me. Like, I would have that in a napkin. And then this one, I thought, very, very useful again. Nice amount of fabric in it. This is just a sort of, not halter neck, but it's focused, I don't know what you'd call that, but focused around the neck, and again, you can belt it. I'll try them on and show you because I think that would be easier, but I thought that they would be very interesting. This is the shirt dress on. I actually couldn't find the linen waist tie for it, so I kind of improvised with one of my vintage Hermes scarves. This I think I just got from Vestiaire Collective for like nothing, but it's got quite a, like a preppy, almost military feel to it. And I feel like it adds a bit of personality to a classic white dress. And it was an opportunity for me to try. I've obviously gone for two shoes. I feel like the brown's probably the best, but something about the white feels a little bit more, I don't know. You'll have to let me know. I always feel like when I watch these things back, I know which looks best. I haven't even done like earrings or jewelry or anything, but just a classic white linen dress and the opportunity to do something a little bit different with it as well. I love it when a dress is something that you can play around with, but also something that you can wear really pared back, and I definitely think this is one of them. There's a beautiful amount of fabric in the skirt whilst also having little side slits, and there's pockets, and it comes in other colours. So I'm definitely going to quickly hop on to Amazon and order this in, oh, I've got a bit of fluff there. Order this in the oatmeal, or even if they do it in the green, I don't know, but this is gorgeous. Love this. So I'm not so sure about this one. I feel a little bit like a sack of potatoes in it. I think I could obviously cinch it in, but I'm not too certain that that's it, because I feel like on me, these armholes have to be a little bit lower because of how broad I am across here. If anything comes onto these bits, it accentuates it, and so I feel like if that was like that, it would look a bit better. But a great throw-on dress if you're like by the beach and you just want that more effortless feel, but for someone who's broad, maybe not so right. And I'm also wearing the wrong type of bra for it. Apologies if you can hear my steamer bubbling away. I've just been steaming the shorter dress. I can't remember if I've shown you this before, but I feel like maybe I have. But this is such a beautiful like garden dress. I've not got any shoes on with it because this would be something that I just pop on like some old sliders or flip-flops or whatever, just to be in and out of the garden. Like, it's so gorgeous. Ignore the fact that my bra is like not the bra for this. Gorgeous wrap front as well, so that you could have like a bandeau bikini underneath or swimsuit, and you can just wrap this around and tie it. It's so comfortable as well, and the straps are fully adjustable. I actually think that these could be, pardon my bra out. Yeah, I almost think that like the longer the straps, the more flattering it is, and it is the fabric for me. Like the way this looks, it's just so cute. It's floral, but it's not in your face floral. It's delicate, and it almost has like a vintage, like old dress from your wardrobe type feel. You know, like one that you've loved and used. not like a new feel. It's got like a almost like cottage core kind of feel, but in a bit more of a me way. And I love this so much. Such an easy dress to wear. Yeah, definitely the longer strap for sure. Turn around with it. We're going to have bacon sandwiches with fresh sourdough. Yeah, the longest straps for me are the win. I love the slight ruffle to the skirt. Cute. Okay, this skirt, I have officially peaked. This is glorious. Absolutely glorious and so comfortable. The most beautiful linen. I can't believe how good this linen. This is like real, seriously natural, beautiful linen. And I know we always joke that I become Lydia Linen in spring summer. I love linen because of how relaxed it is as a fabric. You are supposed to wear it creased and beautiful. If you want something pressed to perfection, wear cotton. If you want something that looks a little bit more effortless, like I love the way you get the creases in your arms, on the trousers, they just start to look a little bit lived in. It's very much in line with my style in my home. I like something to look like it's been lived in and loved, and this fabric is exactly that. There is so much gorgeousness to this. This is the perfect, like at home, beautiful linen outfit, but also popping this over a bikini top on holiday. But also I popped it with a shirt. You don't have to go quite so made up as I have. I've literally got a little cami underneath, which is just as good, so you can dress it however you want. This little cami, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, this is the shorter dress. Again, I've added a little silk scarf to the waist. You have to let me know what you think, but I personally think there is a big difference between sort of that on me, because I would love a little linen mini for spring summer. That is so cute. I feel like that on me is a little bit frumpy, so I could maybe have it taken up, because I love the fabric, I love the feel of it. I don't want it to be too short, but just something that's like a little bit like legs out. Spring summer maybe that's a little bit short. But like, yeah. But without the scarf, it's going to be a bit creased now. You can obviously also go for something a bit more relaxed. You could pop a belt with it. It's just a little vintage belt. My tummy is making all the noises. Obviously go for a little vintage belt like this, which I personally love. It feels quite classic. You obviously don't have to do the shirt with that, probably go for a longer shirt. I really like this. I would have this taken up for like a wine walk dress, because I really like the way that it falls. It just needs a little shaping. And I think it's cute. Very cute. No pockets, just as an FYI. Anyway, get me in that garden. Outfit to head into the garden though is my Amazon linen trousers, same brand. I popped on a little cotton baby blue shirt, which I think when you add, because what I'm trying to do at the moment, because obviously I have no handbags anymore, so a number of my capsule wardrobes are currently out of use. So I have to think about things that go with the accessories that I have. And so this bag with some baby blue is perfect. I could have gone for a green shirt, but I thought the blue was really lovely. These trousers are so comfortable. I love them. Anyway, in the garden. It is such a blustery day, but it's like a warm blustery day. But look at this. We've got these gorgeous purple tulips coming up, and that one is already in bloom. Oh my goodness me. We are so excited this year to have so many bulbs in the flower beds, and they are all coming up. We've got many different things in here, alliums and tulips and all of the wonderful colour that's going to be coming up. I've got a full list of what we've got in here. You can see how much has sprouted. So we've got the catmint coming up, we've got erigeron coming up. Oh, it's so exciting. The greenery is starting to come out. This is just a triumph, isn't it? Oh, a little Millen Gordon bee there. The chickens are hiding under the topiaries. They love it under there. I think it's because there's a little dust bath that they make for themselves. So I I thought I would give you a quick blustery tour of what I got up to yesterday. So I have tidied up my herb trugs. There is a lot of chocolate mint coming through and some sage. I gave it a little bit of compost as well, and I just trimmed back all of the woodiness. There should be some apple mint in there. I think the lemon thyme has probably been suffocated by the chocolate mint, but that doesn't bother me because I have so many uses for mint throughout the summer, so this is going to be a very, very useful container. And again over here I have had a good strim back of everything because lemon balm is coming in hot. I'm actually going to take this little woody bit off this rosemary as well, just because it's hanging over and we can dry all of those things. Little Spidey coming up there. I've trimmed back the thyme as well, and again gave it a little spattering of soil, and then we've also got the oregano coming through. Now, I haven't done anything with these yet because I actually have a bit of a plan for these this year. Usually I just have some flowers in here that look lovely throughout the year, but actually this year I have a bit of a plan. I'm actually going to use these as little tomato containers. So I'm going to have the tomatoes growing up there, and then I'm going to have a bit of herbs, I'm going to have a bit of marigolds around them, just to make a functional but beautiful planter. I really want to have some fun with them. I was going to put those dahlias in them, but I think I'll have fun with the dahlias elsewhere. So that's my plan. I'm going to do a harvest of chives as well and do some preserving of chives. Gwyneth, get out of my bed. Gwyneth. Little cheeky monkey. Little monkey. I am going to do a harvest of chives. I'm just going to cut them hard back and then preserve them so that we've got fresh chives to be used. Ali will hate it. He hates it when I cut things back, but I have to ignore that this year. I've also popped some canes in for my raspberries. I'm going to do my best to keep my raspberries to one side of the bed. I imagine that that's going to be very, very difficult, but it is my first time growing raspberries, so we shall see. But looking forward to seeing how this comes up. But in the greenhouse, we had a lot of fun yesterday. I had a real sort out and clean, and honestly, I have to say, if you are like me and you are a arachnophobe that loves gardening, this will be your best friend. I have obviously had NLP for my phobia of spiders, and as you've just seen, I didn't lose my marbles when I saw that spider on the trug. I've established that I just don't really ever want them on me, but with this, it means I never have to worry about touching them. So I cleaned this out yesterday. Now, this had been sat for many, many months, if not years, on the side. There has definitely been spiders living in there. There was a spider in there as well. But because I've got this, I got this from Amazon as well, and it has changed how I garden. It is so good. I feel so independent with this. It is wonderful. So this is what the staging table is now looking like. It is very, very busy in here at the moment. We've got lovely herbs growing, which always add a nice touch of greenery, but I did a huge amount of potting on yesterday and reorganizing of things. So a number of courgettes have been potted on. I did another dahlia. I still need to get my garlic out. I can't believe I haven't got them out. And my tomatoes have also been potted on. Oh, I did my broad beans as well. But just look at this organisation. I organised my pots all on my own. I didn't need Ali here. I organised them all on my own. You know that that is a triumph. I organised my canes. I've got a lot of willow canes, but also I noticed yesterday that out the back here, Ali has been saving some of the twigs that have been falling in the wind so that I can use them for plant supports as well, which is going to be brilliant. And then on here, everything just had a good drink yesterday and a little bit of thinning out for salads and things like that. But at the moment, we almost have all of my cucumbers coming up. These have just sprouted overnight. I think we're going to be ready to get these radishes out pretty soon, but I'm going to probably pot those on next. I have some seed sowing to do, but I am so happy with my greenhouse and how things are going this year. I am so much more organised. I actually just feel so much happier out here. Pardon this always being my favourite place to stand, but with the sun like this, you've got to get out here and be out here. But yes, I have made a real change in my habits in my greenhouse. and I am not allowed to leave my greenhouse unless I have tidied up, and it makes coming out here and being out here so much more enjoyable, first and foremost. I am carving out time where I actually spend time here because I want to be here rather than, oh, I need to get this done. I'm treating myself to it. And I just feel like I've had such an attitude shift to things this year. I am researching all of the things that I can do with things, and it's just wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. So I hope it shows in how my greenhouse looks and also how my plants look. They look loved. I'm not chasing my tail. They look loved, and I love that for me. I love that for me. Like, look at these happy little seedlings. Oh. I also threw some seeds into my seed sprouter. This is always great for just pushing the process along a little bit. So I've popped some ice gem lettuce in the top here, and I actually think we've got a little sprout coming already on that one. You can again pick this up on Amazon. Then I've done some kale, and we've got some sprouts coming already. And then these are my crown prince. I'm hopeful. I've planted these in soil already, but I think because I harvested them, I just like to have a little bit more confidence in the fact that they're actually going to sprout. So I'm going to do some in here as well, just for my peace of mind. Now we are about ready. Got about 20 minutes until we bake the bread. So I'm going to head to the kitchen garden, harvest the chives, and start getting those ready to be stored so that Ali can have them on eggs. They can go in salads, pasta dishes, all of that stuff. Whilst I wait for the bread or the dough, I'm going to grab my basket and I'm going to head out to the kitchen garden. It's very windy though, so I don't think I'm going to actually be able to speak to you when I'm out there. But I'm going to harvest the chives, bring them in and start prepping them for preserving them. I'm going to pop some in the fridge so that Ali can use them fresh, but for the most part I'm going to chop them up and freeze them. I've actually just ordered a little silicone preservation freezer tray. Well, many trays, different sizes, so you can freeze portions of things like soup and sauce, but also herbs, chives, all of that kind of thing, and then pop them into freezer bags so that you're maximising on space, because this is the year where I'm going to be preserving a lot more. Just look at them all. Got Beatrix underneath there, and then these two having a whale of a time next to my rhubarb. Look at them, little fluffy bottoms. Oh yeah, oh yeah, having a great time. Little Jemima and Gwyneth. Oh. This is not your dust bath. So this run of chives I'm actually going to leave to just grow a little bit more because they're not quite there yet. What I love about chives is that they come back every year, so having them in the beds, it creates really nice division. You can use them decoratively as well, but they come back every year, so they die back in the winter. Also, you can literally eat every single part of them, so you can eat the greenery, you can eat the flowers, you can eat the seeds, everything. So they're a really good all-rounder and very, very flavoursome as well. But these ones over here have definitely had a good stint of growth. So I'm going to chop these back and get them in the kitchen. Oh my goodness me, if it wasn't so windy I'd do it at the outdoor kitchen, but I'd be losing all my chives. Now that I'm in the kitchen, I'm going to get the oven heating up for the bread. Can't believe it, I've actually made a whole loaf with you for once. Made out ready to go. Whilst I am waiting for the oven to heat up, I am going to begin to chop these chives up. Now we have, I'm sure, little herb scissors somewhere. We do indeed. So this will help me with chopping them up, just so that when we use them from the freezer, we don't need to then chop them up when they're frozen. The way that we like to use them, Ali has them on his eggs in the morning. I think into the summer months on like new potatoes and potato salads and things like that. Pasta, I'll put a chive on anything, I've got to be honest. And just that little touch of greenery really changes the game. And I don't want to buy any of these things this year. So what I will do is I'm gonna pop them on this baking sheet, This is then on a baking tray, but I put it on a baking sheet so that I can then lift up the baking sheet and prise the little bits of chives off of it rather than having to scoop them off. I'm just gonna grab a little sprig of these and I'm just going to cut them with these scissors. My gosh, maybe I've gone a little bit too big with this handful. These scissors are genius, but also a little bit, they're not great. They get stuck quite a lot, but at least it's less chopping, I would say. Maybe let me do a smaller handful. I've been a bit overzealous there, I think. I'm just going to keep cutting and I'll spread them out afterwards. You can also keep them in the fridge. I'll probably keep just a few in the fridge so that Ali can use those ones, but this is just so that we have chives all the way through winter. I'm just gonna keep harvesting, keep storing, and it also, if you end up with too much, these kinds of things make such lovely gifts. I'm not even joking. I went to someone's house the other day with a loaf of bread. I would happily go with chives. We'll spread them out afterwards because we've got a lot to get through. Oh my gosh, the smell is so nice. And it doesn't matter if you get like longer bits as well, like it's supposed to look rustic. These are not store-bought chives, and I'm someone who prefers things to look a little bit imperfect because I think it shows an accurate and realistic view of actually what our food should look like. We've got this like warped sense of food nowadays and how it should look. Like perfect, and it's just not like that. One thing in my next house that I'm going to make sure that I have is a huge freezer. That is what I would love to have because we have a we have two freezers, one in the shed and one in the kitchen, and the one in the kitchen is very small. Now, chives are not necessarily a herb that you would dry. I think because of how like moisture rich they are, the flavor is all in that moisture. And so you are going to want to keep these fresh, or as fresh as possible. So through the summer, we'll probably pick these as much as possible fresh. And then into the winter is when we'll use these stores. That is the alarm to put the bread in the oven. My gosh, I've done such a good harvest here. I'm so proud of myself. Let's get that in the oven for the moment. Ooh, I always do that, I forget to do the score. One of the things I need is a little blade because these knives are not sourdough appropriate. Let's do this. And in it goes for 50 minutes. Perfectamundo. Now I'm going to quickly prep the second loaf, which has been bubbling away on the side. It is such a fascinating process that I enjoy so much. Wash my hands, stretch and fold. My goodness me, this smells so good. Into the basket. And voila, in the basket. Let's get this on. Let's get it on. And in the fridge. Now this can be in the fridge for another 24 hours up to. So it's great if you want to have like a fresh loaf, maybe for like a Sunday, and then you want to start the week with a fresh loaf for breakfast during the week. That's what I've found anyway, that making two, I generally make two at a time, and that works really well. So I'm gonna pop this in the fridge. However, what I'm going to do is buy another proving basket, because sometimes you just need to make two, one for yourself and one for someone else, and you don't have two proving baskets. And we continue on with the chives. And then you could even do like a chive spread, like a chive butter, and then, well, you could do a chive butter, you could roll a butter in chives, but also like cream cheese with chives on top, like on your fresh sourdough. It's, oh my God, it's making my mouth water. Again, rustic. I'm happy with rustic. You don't want it too perfect. Also, Can I just take a moment to say how far we've come? Someone commented the other day about how, you know, when I lived in my old kitchen and I didn't do anything and this, that and the other, and now look at me, and it's just, I'd like you to take this as what I hope it's, you know, what I know it's intended as, is that you can literally teach yourself anything and it can change your life for the better and enrich it even more. And I know that obviously there's been discussions on my channel recently about growth and, you know, change and how that's perceived and accepted online and that kind of thing. And I just hope that you know that when you're on my channel, you can become and be whoever you want to be. And I love that for us. I love it. Do you know what? I think I'm gonna have some fresh sourdough with cream cheese and fresh chives. So what I'm hoping that the baking paper will do is enable me to just peel these off and then put them into a little stashes bag so that I can just crumble them up and put them in. That's what I'm hoping for. Just to give you a bit of an up close and personal look at the chive scissors. You can see those there. So they've got like little slats that, it's like 5 pairs of scissors basically. So you just snip, snip, and what you do, these really, I wouldn't use these if you're just like trimming a few over some eggs because they tend to get stuck. What I would say is this is for your batch preserving when you're cutting a load of chives, because as you cut, it pushes the rest of the chives through, but also just going like that gets it out as well. So it is good, but my goodness me, chives for days. And like I said, I'm gonna say it again, rustic, rustic, rustic. You don't want these to look like store-bought chives, otherwise everyone, they won't believe you. Almost down to the last few. Then you're just gonna spread them out as much as possible and pop them into the freezer for a few hours. And I'm gonna get my stashes bags ready to go. You tell him, Porty. Five minutes with the lid off. Little loafy, 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 loafy lid. Ah, I did buy these. I thought I bought these. There we go. Not that I baked in it, but this will be so much easier for putting into the oven, that's for sure. Would you look at that? What a gorgeous loaf. Oh gosh, and just listen to that crunchiness. Oh, so good. Oh gosh, I have started something that is going to end with me being indoors all day. I'm organising the tea cupboard, but what I started off doing was organising the medication and supplement cupboard, which then led me to organising the other supplement cupboard that we definitely didn't need 2 of. And I thought, well, I should get all my holy cacao into the tea cupboard. And so now we're organising the tea cupboard and I'm relabeling everything. I'm using my little Nimbot to label things, and I've got my loose leaf teas going in, Dalesford, I've got all of these, Victoria Grey, Christmas tea, everything, so that I can hopefully then get my cacao, holy cacao in here as well, which will free up a huge amount of drawer space. We also have these little scoops for any loose leaf teas that you just pop in like this. Scoop in there. Oh mon Dieu, so we've got one left. Goodness me, smells of cloves. Oh, it smells delicious. Ali will kill me because I've not done any of these straight, but he just has to live with it. Ali has just helped me get the frozen chives into a stasher bag, and they are ready to store in the freezer. And we are currently having a slice, well, actually a sandwich of fresh sourdough and bacon for brunch. Well, we've had our very, very posh bacon sandwiches, and I think I put a story up on my Instagram earlier and it was showing my greenhouse and everything looks perfect except for the fact that my husband still hasn't done my hooks. So I think he's come home being like, I need to do those. So hopefully I'll have a little greenhouse glow up for you in the next video. But I'm actually gonna clock off for the last, Barkley is eating the pea shoots that I put down for the chickens. Barky! He is in the chicken coop. I put a few little pea shoots down for the chickens, and instead Barkley has helped himself. There is nothing that will stand between that boy and food. Ah, he has an accomplice. Feathers McGraw. Look at him. But yes, I think I'm gonna clock off for a few hours and just allow myself to relax into a bit of a meditative state in the garden, because I was fighting against it yesterday because I wanted to show you everything. I failed, doesn't matter, but yeah, I'm just gonna chill for the last few hours of the Sunday before a working week begins. I might have also treated myself to the last of a bottle of wine that I opened. This might seem like a very big glass, but it has soda water in it, because you'll know I don't like straight wine, it's too strong for me. What are you doing?
Work.
What work are you doing?
Garden work.
What's the garden work that you're doing? He knows I've cottoned onto him. Well, happy official British summertime as well, and I hope that you're enjoying the first few days of spring. And honestly, I could have spent the entire day organising. I can't believe I haven't been outside all that much. Once I started, I moved somewhere else, and then I moved somewhere else, so I definitely need to have a big organise. In fact, I've ordered some bits to help with me organising and getting on top of things, so hopefully we can open those together in the next video and just do a big old pack down, sort out, cleanse. So I will see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching.